Hey guys, this is Dustin Bogle, the author of Reinforce Your Gym, and I was just recently a guest on the Business Growth Architect podcast. It was awesome. We had a wonderful discussion. Here's what I shared, so I hope you guys will listen. My Fortune follow-up system, which is how to harvest more sales from your database. We also talked about mindset and how it's going to really impact you from growing your business and how it can hold you back. And then finally, I went into some secret sales tactics that I think you guys are going to really enjoy. So listen in, 5-star review it, and I know that this is going to be definitely worth your time.
Welcome to the Business Growth Architect Show. I am Beate Gillette. I am the host. I want to welcome you to our globally top 10% ranked podcast, where you will hear from industry experts about the strategies that are working right now to unlock hidden opportunities in any market so that you can grow your authority and scale your impact. And now let's get started with the show. Welcome back. This is your host, Beate Gillette, and welcome to the Business Growth Architect Show. Today, we're talking to Dustin Bogle from Gym Reinforcements. Dustin has a business model that I want to share with you that I think will give you a lot to think about. Dustin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, and I'm honored to be the first guest from the fitness industry. So I hope I represent our industry well, and I want to just help your listeners out any way I can. So
I love that. I love that. So my first question is, for somebody who doesn't know who you are, will you please tell our audience who you are, what you do, and what's so amazing about you?
Yeah, thank you. Great question. So I come from the fitness industry, 20 years in now, and I'm a gym owner, multi-location gym owner, and I would say in the most competitive area in the world, and that is Southern California. There's gyms popping open all the time, left and right. A lot of the most popular fitness trends started in California. Beachbody is based in California. A lot of famous franchises and brands were founded there. And it's because it's like this pressure cooker. When there's so much competition, it actually makes the cream rise to the top, and it makes the best of the best come out. And so one of the things that I'm grateful for being in that market is that it forced me to get really good at sales and articulate to the leads why we are a place that is worthy of their business, their hard-earned dollars. And it really made me go to the school of hard knocks for sales. So that's why I say I'm a coach first and a fat loss expert, but then just by the area that I was in and that environmental pressure, I became a sales expert and selling something that's a hard thing to sell, in my opinion. It's something people need, but not necessarily want, and that's fitness. And so when you are in a competitive area, selling something people need, not want, you get really good at sales or you fail. And so that's why I feel like that's something I've gotten good at, and I teach what I've learned to others so that they can grow their business as well.
So question for you. A lot of people struggle with sales, and they struggle with sales for many reasons. They don't have enough leads coming in. They don't know how to convert. They're attracting the wrong person. There's like 10,000 things. So if you would share from your experience, what is it about sales that is so dreadful to so many people?
It's funny. I just did a training on this, so this is perfect. It's fresh in my mind. And it was the 3 reasons your leads are not buying. And so I'll just give the audience exactly what I talked about. The first is confusion. When people go to your social media, they see your dog, they see your kids, they see what you're eating, but they don't see what you do, and they don't see what you sell. And so like, what is going on your social media? Is it clear? Can I tell from the moment I land on the page what you do? And it could be a business page, it could be your profile, it could be your website. Sometimes people say really drawn out, wordy explanations of what they do. And then guess what? People who are confused move away, and people who have clarity, they move towards you. So it's like confused people don't buy, and just too many people just explain their stuff with too many words and too many details. And there's people don't care. They're like, the main question you need to answer in all your marketing is, what problem do you solve? That's your elevator pitch. That's your one-liner. And so a lot of times people will answer that question like, hey, so what do you do? Oh, I'm a landscaper. No, that's not a problem. I'm a fitness trainer. That's not a problem. You're focusing on you. So if I say I help women who are super stressed out lose fat and rebuild their metabolism, I got to get you connected with my Aunt Susan. She needs you. Like, I'm saying the problem and my avatar in my pitch. Don't say what you do literally, say who you help. and get clear and put it in the least amount of wording and make it as punchy and in your face as possible. So that's number one. People just can't tell what problem you solve. They see you do stuff, but they don't know who to call, what problem you're solving. The second is they don't trust you. And so that comes from the businesses that go for the sale too quickly. Welcome to my email list. I got this product for sale. Welcome to my social media following. Buy my stuff. Who are you? Why should I trust you? Like, I love that you started with, who's Dustin? Why should we listen to this episode? What makes you good? Why are you awesome? That's how people need to think about their marketing. Welcome to my email list. Let me introduce myself. I'm the owner. Is why I started this company. Is why you should trust me. I got this many years of experience. I've produced this customer success stat. Something that puts you on a pedestal. For us at our gyms, for example, we've helped 1,000 ladies go through a body transformation. So immediately trust, okay, they've done a lot of reps. We've been in business 20 years, experience, right? We have a proven process, which is kind of what I'm going to get into my third one. And so these things will make someone want to buy more than, hey, I'm Dustin, welcome, buy my X program, right? And this applies to any industry. This isn't just fitness. The third, we said confusion. We said essentially trust. And then the third one is uniqueness. There was a great book many years ago. A lot of business people read it, and it was the Blue Ocean Strategy. And so when you are in a red ocean, just to give you guys the quick summary, you are fighting with all the other businesses for the same fish. It's shark infested waters. It's bloody waters because all the sharks are fighting for the same fish. Red ocean. Blue ocean, there's no competition. There's one shark that has the whole ocean to themselves. And so the example I like to give is Netflix. Before all the other streaming services came around, now it is a red ocean, but they had a 10-year gap where there was a blue ocean. They had zero competition, a huge leap start in the industry. So it's not saying you have to be the next person to think of a crazy new disruptive technology. You could be in a competitive market like landscaping, like fitness, like course offers, like coaching, and you can still make it unique in terms of what is your method and what is your way of doing things that is different than the competition. And so that's the third reason people don't buy is they just don't think you're unique. And if you're in a red ocean, guess what people do? They just price shop for the lowest price. And so it's like your product A, product B, product C, they're all the same. Which one's the cheapest? That's how we logically just buy. So you have to be in a competition or in a market where you have no competition and make yourself unique. And so there's a lot of ways you can do that. But I know for time's sake, there's other questions for us to dive into. But those are the three reasons your leads don't buy. They're confused, they don't trust you, and you're not unique.
Do you find that people, when they are putting their sales propositions together or work on the unique value proposition or build their strategies, that they are very good at seeing what's in front of them? Or do you find that most people, when it comes to themselves, they can see it with other people, but they cannot see it with themselves?
Yeah, I mean, basically what it comes down to is they're either they're just like super humble and they're really bad about bragging about themselves. There's usually two types of business owners. There's product driven and promotion driven. The product, they want to make the service better. They want to make the product better. They want to make the app faster. They want to make the course, more digestible. And they're just spending their whole day working on the product, but because they're not out promoting, no one knows about this amazing product. You're kind of like selfishly hiding it from the world, and you need to get more promotion driven. And then the reverse is the very promotion person. They're always on social media. They're always promoting something. Something's always for sale. They're always, telling everybody about how this awesome product, but because they're spending like 80% of their time promoting it, they're also not trying to refine it and make it better and design the 2 and 3 and 4.0 version of the product. And so they need to spend a little bit more time doing product. So it's not that you need to be split 50-50. Some of the best partnerships is Steve Jobs promotion, and then he had his, right-hand man that's product, like designing it in the back office, right? Some of the best companies, like Elon Musk is out there promotion driven. He doesn't know how the heck his own cars work, but he hired some of the smartest minds to be the product driven. So it's like you either find the opposite of you so you can be the yin and the yang, or if you're a one-man show or one-woman show, you kind of have to be mindful to say, hey, I'm spending a little too much time on one of these. I need to do the other. So they're usually very humble, product-driven people, and that's why they don't know how to do like a USP and how to package it because they're not promotion-minded. You can hire somebody to like a copywriter, somebody to be that creative person to say, you do something really special here. Let me help you package this and position it to make it sound you more unique to the marketplace. And so that sounds like you. You're like, I really like working on my product, or I like getting my hands dirty and I'm doing the service and I'm not a creative. Hire creative to help you make that USP. If you're more promotion driven, that probably comes easy to you. You can make the USP. I would say get an operations person to come and quality check it and say, can this be better? And, give you feedback on it. So that's kind of how I think they can improve that.
You talk a lot, Dustin, about knowing your strength and stepping into what you're good at and what you should be doing. What should I be doing?
What brings you energy? And so one of the reasons all of us started a business is because we want freedom and we want to have a say in how our day is going to go and the things we're going to do. We don't want someone putting their thumb on us, telling us what to do. Well, that's great. Embrace that. Like, you're a business owner. There's definitely struggles. There's definitely risks and a lot of stress that goes with it. But the positive is that you do get to control what you get to work on and you do get to have that freedom. And so there's like tasks that need to be done, and every task that needs to be done is going to fall into one or two columns. It's either it gives you energy or it drains you energy. Your job, when you say, what should I do, is to have an absurd amount of your time leveraging the stuff that gives you energy, the things that you enjoy doing, the things that wake you up. The number one way to get to burnout as an entrepreneur is to fill your day with energy draining activities. Like, I hate answering emails. I hate running payroll. I hate, filling out this form, and just give somebody 8 hours a day. Those are the people that want to quit their jobs. Well, if you're the entrepreneur and you have control and you're choosing to do this, why are you choosing to like make your life a living hell and to do things that are energy draining? So your job is to protect your energy. If we're going to be doing this for the long haul, how do we do this? How does Tony Robbins, after decades, get up in front of people? Energy management. What is energy? The things you do. And so delegate the things that drain your energy and keep and fight for the things that give you energy. And that's the way that you stay in the game for the long haul. So that's kind of my take on how to like delegate and elevate.
I like what you said a lot, is that I think there's two schools of thoughts here. So number one, as a business owner, you kind of do have to know about the stuff that you don't like, because a lot of times when we don't like dealing with the numbers, it's because the numbers are not good. And so when I look at the numbers, it drains me, because if I see $1 million in my bank account, I'm probably going to be a lot more energized than I see $10 in my bank account. So there is a reality also to it, to say, what do I need to do as a business owner to get myself over the judgment of what this says, right? What is your experiences when you say, I'm launching something new, or I'm putting something new out, I'm changing my sales process? People think if they change something, they need immediate results. Is that realistic, especially in sales, or is there a process that we should talk about?
Yes, like there's definitely things you will see immediate results. I call this concept the 90-day echo. And so what it is what you do today, you actually will not see the results of it until 90 days from now. So if I make 100 calls today and I repeat that for the next 90 days, I bet you in 90 days, I will have a bigger business, because I did so much more outbound. I did so much more volume if I normally did 10 calls a day, right? So that's not going to show up tomorrow just because I did 100 calls today. And that's what we like to see, is like, I put in a ton of work today and tomorrow my business has grown, but it won't. So if you put on that mindset that it's a 90-day lag, right? Like, if I work hard this day, this week, this month, I won't see it for 90 days. And so if you can kind of accept that and still put in the work, then again, you're thinking longer term. But also I would say it works backwards too. What you have today is an echo of what you did 90 days ago. So if you're not happy with where your business is, go back and look at what you were doing 90 days ago. Maybe you're still doing the exact same thing. And there's a phrase that I often say, nothing changes if nothing changes. You literally are doing the same thing that you did 90 days ago, and now you're living in that echo and nothing has changed. Well, let's not have that happen 90 days from now. We need to change strategy. We do need to think about things differently. And sometimes you can't see that, and you need an outsider's perspective. That's where a coach or a mentor or a peer that's in the same industry could come in, just say, what am I doing? I feel like I'm, living Groundhog Day. There's no growth happening. What am I missing? And you will be surprised how quickly an outside person will see it, because you're so stuck and you can justify things like, well, that's not happening because of this, and this person's not producing because they're going through that. And you start making all these excuses of why things are in your business, where an outside person comes in and boom, spots it. So that's why we all need to have coaches and mentors, so they can spot that. But we also need to be long-term thinking in these 90-day echoes and constantly evaluate ourselves on a quarterly basis. Like, has growth happened? Is what we're doing working? What needs to change the strategy? And then let's try that as we go forward.
There's a lot of truth in this, that I like the thought of the 90-day expectation, because people take a really long time until the pain level is high before they start making the change. And then when the pain level is so high that they make the change, the result of that change needs to happen immediately. But a ship turns only gradually, a degree at a time. So to say, if you are making changes today, you need to expect a 90-day turnaround if you consistently do it. Like, you can't do it today and then not do it tomorrow. These things really have to. So fascinating conversation. We will be right back and talk after this message with Dustin about his business model that I call the double dipper. Are you looking for the hidden opportunities for you in this market? Or are you simply wanting to figure out what is your unique differentiation factor that makes clients want to work with you and not your competitors? If this resonates, I want to invite you to go to uncoverysession.com and schedule your 15-minute complimentary uncovery session with one of our business growth advisors that will take you through what your number one business growth blocker is, what you can do to remove it, and what your very best next step should be. And now let's get back to the show. Welcome back. This is Beate and Dustin from Gym and Reinforcements, and we talking about all kinds of things of sales, looking at it from a different perspective, coming from a gym environment. So Dustin, one of the things why I wanted you on the show was that you have a very interesting business model on how you look at sales. I call it the double dipper. So will you take us through why I believe you're a double dipper?
Yes. And that's one of my favorite Seinfeld episodes, by the way. But yes, the double dip is essentially where you don't just stop selling when you sell one person and you ask for more. And it sounds greedy and like, you're trying to always make a sale. But my belief is that if you've made something awesome, you have made that amazing product or service, you should want to get it out to the world. You should be upset that every person who reaches out to you does not buy. I used to get frustrated. I was like, maybe I didn't say it the right way. Maybe I didn't make them feel comfortable enough. Maybe I was being too pushy. Like, all these things would go in my mind, because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, their life would be so much better if I got to be their coach. And so if that's not how you feel about your product or service, you need to make your product or service better so you are convicted about it. Or maybe you need to switch industries. Maybe you're not really enthused about what you're selling anymore. But at the end of the day, when we sell somebody a fitness program, we get them into a trial. We get them into a 28-day challenge or a 6-week challenge. They come in and check it out at the point of sale. When we ask for the credit card, we put it in, we run the payment. After that's been completed, we double dip. And so we just say, now that you are in this program, we're so excited. Do you know anybody else who would want to do this with you? A spouse, a sibling, a coworker? Because we want to help as many people in the community get healthy and fit. It's a win for us. We get another member, yes, but guess what? It's a win for you. You got a familiar face in the gym. You got an accountability partner. And now there's somebody you can plan to do fitness things together. You guys can meal prep together. You go on hikes. Why don't we get one of your buddies signed up? Who would that person be? And so when they hear the actual reasoning behind it, and it's not about the sale, that we have a mission, we want to get as many people in the community healthy and fit, and we want them to have a familiar face, they're sold, and we get a good portion of people to do that. Right now, our stats are 4 out of 10 people give us a name, phone number, and email, and boom, we got a sale without having to do any ad spend. It just is something your salespeople got to be trained to do every time. But here's where it becomes infinite. If I make a sale and that person gives me a friend's phone number, guess what I do when I call that friend? Hey, friend, do you have anybody that would want to do this with you? And I call it the infinite lead system. If you continue to ask every person for another referral, I've had people go as far as 6 leads from one referral to the next and 0 ad spend, because they had the cojones to ask for it. This is not being greedy. This is not being a slimy salesperson. It's being very convicted in what you sell. Does Elon Musk feel weird about taking anyone's money for one of his cars No, because he's convicted. Your life is going to be for the better. We're saving the planet. He has a big mission. He knows the product's good. That's how you got to feel about yours. And so that's why we get really excited and we get a lot of referrals on the front end. And that's the double dip, but it honestly leads to infinite leads if you can get that as well.
Yes, I think this is a very smart to build that in with your clients. Also, not just new clients that just signed up, but also for existing clients to ask them to look into who else we can help. And then you have a second piece that I want to talk about that I think also falls into the double dip category. And that is, so you teach people how to do this entire program, right? How to sell. So there's a coaching system that you're selling. But not just are you teaching them how to you give them the information, but if they don't want to do this by themselves, which goes back to the first question that I had asked you earlier, what should I be doing or what should I not be doing? They can then also bring you in to place a salesperson and do the sales for them. Will you take us through how you develop this part of the double dipping?
Yeah, so it just a lot of things that I learned just came from an organic, natural path. And so in a gym, again, I know it's different for everybody. We have a very loud environment. So when someone's yelling on a microphone and giving instructions and there's loud music and people stopping at the desk, we just couldn't get a focused person to do follow-up. So I decided to do a test and I hired a remote salesperson that's going to work from home, quiet environment. They got a good sound system, microphone going, and they can just dial for dollars and there's no issues. That was a massive game changer for me. And so they had a system that I built out for them, but eventually we launched it into a company where we actually help gym owners to move their leads into their gyms and get them more members. And so although it's specific for gym owners in the fitness industry, the system can apply to anybody. I actually had a landscaper deploy this system, and they saw immediate results from it. And so essentially, there's three main components of what I call the fortune follow-up system, because we've all heard that the fortunes and the follow-up. I actually don't think most companies need more leads. I think they need better follow-up. And so I've experienced it myself, where I've called businesses and gotten no response, no reply, no callback, and I was like calling them to give them money, and they couldn't even follow up. So know that no matter what industry you're in, speed to lead is critical. The quicker you can get to your lead, the faster and the better chance you're going to sell them. So the three components are, number one, I call it the 5x2 follow-up system, 5x2, 5x2. When you get a new lead that opts in on your ads or organically messages you, for 5 days, we reach out to them twice a day, once in the afternoon, once in the evening. And we change the platform that we reach out to them on. So it might be a phone call and then a text, an email, and then a social media DM. But we change it every time because different people respond to different mediums, right? And so we want to hit all of them. And so we're aggressive. So people are like, 5x2, that's 10 contacts in the first week. Yes, because we're convicted in what we're selling and we want to get a hold of this person. And the biggest fear, everyone says, that sounds nagging. That sounds like I'm going to piss people off. I've had no complaints. In fact, I've had nothing but thank yous. I'm busy. When you called, I was with my kids. When you text, I was at work. And then they're like, thank you for following up because I am interested. It's just our times didn't line up. And now I can talk. Thank you for the follow-up. So that's the first one. And again, 5x2 follow-up system. The second is a 10% database dynamite is what I call it. And so what you do on this is you just carve out. We all have databases of our contacts since we opened our business. It's probably in the thousands for most business owners. So what you do is you just carve out 10% of that. So if you have 2,000 leads, you're going to take 200 people a day and you're going to send them a check-in text and just say, hey, how's everything going? How are you happy with the company you're working with? For us, it's like, are you on your own trying to figure out your fitness goals? Are you a member of the gym? We'd love to have you come in and join us. And so just check in on all your leads. Don't get so focused on your new leads. You spend a lot of marketing dollars to get that database. So leverage it. Go and find some new people you can sell. And then the third one is what you brought up already, and that is the double dip system. When you do make a sale from your leads or your database, ask them for a referral. That's the three legs of the fortune follow-up system. And so every business I know that's deployed it has seen monumental changes in their sales. And guess what? They didn't increase ad spend. They didn't increase marketing dollars. They didn't go out and have to put a whole bunch of more money. They just got a system that allows them to harvest more sales from their existing leads and lead flow.
So what I'm hearing you say is that there really is a psychological re-education of myself as the business owner to say they wouldn't be on my list if they weren't interested at some point in what I do. So I've had other people that said, unless they literally tell you to never call them again, you just keep calling until they tell you to literally stop. But you were saying that most of the time when you are persistent, that people are thanking you for that kind of persistence. Why do you think most business owners have such a barrier to that? Is that because we still need to be the good guy, the good girl, that we here's my favorite, the work should speak for itself?
Yes.
Where is it coming from that we don't push hard enough?
I will say this as a good mindset for everybody. 100% of your business problems are your personal problems. That your business, just like your marriage or anything else in your life, is a direct reflection of you. And so that's why it's so important we do personal development and self-development, because oftentimes a business has a huge breakthrough when the owner has a personal breakthrough. And so a lot of times these things that you're bringing up, these beliefs that hold us back, are a lack of the owner doing self-awareness work, self-development work, and mindset work. And so it's 100% you thinking, you projecting a belief onto your customers. So in sales, again, we call it selling with your own wallet. 3 common categories that people are shopping for: convenience. They want speed. They want Amazon. I want it at my doorstep. I want, DoorDash. I want things quickly, is convenience. Netflix. I want to press a button and a movie's on my TV screen. Cost. People are on a budget, or maybe this is not an area of their life. They spend a lot over here, but they don't over here. So they're thinking budget and what can I get, the lowest price on. And then the third is premium, luxury. I want the best. Like, I'm not going to cut corners. I want my kitchen to have the best wood. I want the best car. We're going on the best vacation. Like, there will be no budget. And so those are just 3. There's plenty others. But what happens is, we say in sales, don't sell with your own wallet. Maybe in fitness, you think budget, because like for me, I'm a trainer. I'm not going to probably spend a lot of money on a trainer because I know how to work out and I know what to eat. I'm going to probably be more budget minded there. But, another person's like convenience. Like, I'm a busy mom and I don't got a lot of time and I need to work with an expert that's going to get me results in the least amount of time. So what happens if I bring my budget mindset to the convenience minded client? The whole time I'm selling her, I'm talking, like, we're the lowest price in town. We're the most cost effective. We're running a sale. And all my verbiage that I'm selling her with is what I value. But what she's like, we make good money. I got a disposable income. Like, why do you keep bringing this up? Aren't you hearing what I'm saying? I need something quick. I need to get in and out. I'm busy. I'm a working mom. I'm a professional. I got 3 kids. We got sports. So like, her buying and my selling is not matching up. And so a lot of times when you're saying that, the person's like, I don't want to bother the person. My work should, speak for itself. That's what you're, putting out to the world. But if that's not what people are buying, you're going to meet resistance, and that's going to be a lack of sales. So instead of asking yourself, what do I value? You're selling with your wallet. Listen to what your customers are buying. So a great way is to look at your reviews. What are people remarking on? If no one's remarking on the work, then don't hope that the work's going to sell itself. If people are remarking on the speed or they're remarking on the product quality, that's what you want to be putting into your marketing. That's what you want to be putting into your pitch, because you're literally taking the words of your customers and you're pushing it out to the world, right? So the final part is, there's customization in every sale. You need to listen to what does the person value and then speak in those words. Don't sell with what you value, because that's instant loss of a sale. No problem.
I think you're making a very important point here about projecting your own stuff onto other people. And I do believe that there is a lot of truth in that because our subconscious mind is looking for a pattern that we recognize. So when we're now having a conversation and we're discovering an energy mismatch, our subconscious mind will immediately volunteer something we are familiar with that might not be the truth. And the discipline you must have to free yourself from that and not give that a meaning or tell a story about that, that's a lifelong ministry, in my opinion. That will never go away. And it goes back to what you said. You always have to do your self-development. You always have to read the books. I got my sales books right here. I got my mindset work every day that I listen to, because it is so easy to get drawn into a story of something that's happened that wasn't good. Dustin, how can people find out more about you, or perhaps learn about your sales information from you?
Yeah, thank you. This has been awesome. Good conversation. I love talking about all this stuff. I could go on for hours. I think if they wanted more of my content, it'd be good to go pick up the book, Reinforce Your Gym. It's on Amazon. That's a bestseller. Don't be fooled. It says Reinforce Your Gym, but if I could rename it, it'd be Reinforce Your Business, because basically we go over three main categories: more marketing and getting a lead machine, sales multipliers, how to get more sales from every sale that you have, and then building your dream team, which is basically a section on leadership. And so these are the three things I talk about, and it could apply to any model, but just look at my examples in fitness and say, how does this apply to my business? So that'd be first place. Second place would be social media. Follow me on Instagram at Dustin.Bogle or Facebook at Dustin Bogle. Put a ton of content around fitness, mindset, and entrepreneurship.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing your information with our audience. It's been absolutely fabulous to have you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And again, if you guys love this episode, take a screenshot, tag us on it. We'd love to see what you enjoyed, and tag us with your takeaways as well.
Exactly. That's what we do it for. And that's it for us for today. Thank you so much for listening or watching to the Business Growth Architect Show. Please share this with one other person that needs to hear what we talked about today. And until next time, and goodbye. Thank you for listening to or watching the show. We are so excited that you're here, and we are very grateful for you. Now it's our turn to ask you for help. Please do share this episode with one other person that needs to hear what we were talking about today. If there's any question you have about business, please do reach out to us and let us know. And don't forget to schedule your complimentary uncovery session at uncoverysession.com, where one of our business growth advisors will help you to figure out what your number one business growth blocker is in only 15 minutes. And that's it for us today. Until next time.